Deep Dive with David Stendhal, where we trade without ego, no emotion, no greed, and no opinion. Before we begin tonight's video blog, please read over our trading disclaimer and remember to trade smart and accept the reality that trading futures is risky. This presentation does not provide buy-sell recommendations, and our information is strictly provided for educational purposes only. As always, trade at your own risk and analysis. Hey, it's David Stendhal with tonight's Deep Dive. It is July 24, 2018, and we had a big move in copper, so I thought I'd take a look at copper today. The ETF, one of many, is CPER. We've got the trends to the downside despite the little pop that we had here in today's action. We have a nice sideways consolidation here when it comes to our technical rating, and that's going to be one of the keys. I like harping on these types of indicators because they show potential, and that's really the biggest deal when a market is in free fall as it had been, and you get a market that has this type of condition with this technical rating. It generally bodes well for some type of a stoppage and potential reversal. And I say potential even though we recently, as of yesterday, had a bunch of pro alerts that triggered. We had a doubt that triggered in copper, we had a stretch, and we had a pulse. So I just want to show those to you so you can get some perspective here, because today actually was a pretty big day. Here is daily bars with the trend having been to the downside, and here is today's action, where it was up a little over 2% or so on the day. Now, if we take a look at the pro alerts, you can see that we had a number that triggered here yesterday. On top of this little green dot, there's actually a number of things that triggered at the same time. The pulse, the doubt, and the stretch low. So let's just take a look at this on a longer term time scale, and you'll see why I'm a little ambiguous here as to exactly where the market really wants to go. Here's a weekly bar. The market has fallen. We had some early signals, as I mentioned yesterday today with the triggers that occurred yesterday as far as those pro alerts, which caused, not that they caused, but they alerted us to the fact that the market might bounce here. We also just recently had an elastic level low, so there had been some conditions where the market had probably fallen a little bit too far to the downside and was likely for a little bit of reversal, but it's really stopping in no man's land. Yes, there is this little support right here, but the majority of it is still a little bit further down here. Right now it's at 2.8, so in this particular case, the fact is that I'm just going to round down. 2.61 or 2.62 is really where the major support. Now again, these are weekly bars, so that's where real support is. And if we come back to the daily bars, the reason this is kind of scrunched up here is because I really want to go back and see where was the major support. You can see some flirting with little support and resistance levels through here, but the major one is definitely back through here again at 2.60, 2.61, and so that's where the major support is. So with this sell-off and the bounce we're having today, hey, it caused a lot of our shorts to liquidate themselves. We're now flat copper. We're basically looking for probably a little bit of a retracement, build out a base here, but if it's not able to hold here and is actually able to fall off, this would be the lower level that we'd be looking for. If it's actually able to start to rally here, I'd be a little surprised with the velocity that we had here and the momentum surge that we had here today, that it's definitely due for some type of a retracement. We definitely have the market having been oversold and looking for a bit of a pop to the market, if you will, but I still think that it needs to build out a base. So the fact is that our systems have gone flat the market. We're just kind of in wait mode. Let's see if we can build out a base to feel comfortable long. Let's see if we can build out a base and actually hold here without falling to those lower levels that I've been talking about, because I still think that there's a potential for some false moves here, and so we want to really be careful. The other thing I want to point out, I showed that we had some of these these nice signals that popped up yesterday. I probably should have talked about it yesterday, but I didn't. So here's copper with some of those lows. I just want to show this this one particular page here. If you come to signals and you come to ProAlert Performance, and the one that I like looking at is the stretch low. You could look at all of the different ProAlerts here, but here's the stretch low based on its performance. And here's copper, kind of in the middle of the pack, not the highest, not the lowest, but they're all really good performers. So here is copper right through here. The average wins to average loss over the short term. These are like 5, 10, well, it's probably closer to like 10 or 15 days out. In that particular case, it's got a pretty good performance. And so, with that performance, we're looking at maybe 1.75 for the average wins to average loss. So over the coming days, despite today's action to the upside, there could still be a potential for the market to move sideways and still have a bit of a bounce here. The only cautionary tale, as I'll point out, is that it's not really stopping at what I'll term as really good support. Like I said, on a daily bar basis, there is some weak support to the market, but the stronger support would still be down here. It's not to say that the market can't rally here. In fact, the pro alerts and their performance are telling us that we should have a really good bounce here, and today was a pretty good bounce given. But let's see as to whether or not we can actually build out that base, as I said, hold at these levels, truly hold at these levels and not dip down to this level. If it does dip down, then that's even better for us. And if the market is actually able to hold here, let's see if we're actually able to rally. I think our systems will be a little bit late to the game and jumping in, but a lot of that is based upon the fact that I think that's a safer bet, quite honestly. So we'll just sort of wait and see how the systems react, and just simply put copper on your radar screen that it's due for something. There could be some good potential, but the support levels are telling us one thing. The pro alerts are telling us something a little bit different. I think it's probably better to wait and see how things kind of work out with copper rather than just simply jumping in blindly here. So we'll continue to watch and monitor copper, and we will take a look at another market tomorrow. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.